Hello, my friends. I'm Mary Rose Feldman. I'm an artist and a certified Zentangle teacher. Can you believe that it's November already? One of my favorite months. I'm a fall girl. I love the colors. And in November in particular, I love that it's a gratitude month. Things that we are thankful from start to finish the whole month. We can just settle in with that. So in honor of that, I thought I'd share a couple things going on in my world and things that I'm participating in. And then because I'm here and because you're here, I'm going to go into the archives. I pulled one of the tiles that I've loved from a couple years ago, and I'm going to give you the free class right at the end of this video so that you can do a little tangling today. And who doesn't love a little creativity in their lives, right? So the first thing I want to share is that this month I'm doing a BOGO event, buy one, get one free. When you purchase this year's Grateful Acornz class, which is something I've done almost every year, not every year. When you purchase this year's Grateful Acornz class, you get last year's Grateful Acornz class for free. This year's class is this. So we're doing a little wreath with, it's almost a monotangle, just about, with this tangle going around. And then we have these acorns. We're going to color these acorns in with colored pencils, but you can use any medium you want. And if you look closely on the acorns, you can see that every acorn has a gratitude, something that we're thankful for. And that's why I love Grateful Acornz so much, and that's why it repeats almost every year, is that we always have things that we're grateful for. This class is going to be 2 live classes on Zoom. The first one is going to be mostly the tangling and some shading, and the second one is going to be mostly the coloring and the details and things like that. Both classes will be recorded. This is going to run in My Teachable School, so all the information will be in the My Teachable School. I'll put the links in the description, and I'll also list it below here. You will have access to those recordings and this class for a year, probably more, but I say minimum of a year. As long as I'm on Teachable, I'm going to leave it out there. So when you purchase this class is $40. You get last year's class for free. Last year's class is this one, and I apologize, I had to reprint it because the original one is framed. So this is a similar type of class, except a different design. We have leaves in the center, and we've got a beautiful bow. And then when you looked into the acorns, you could see they're tangled a little bit differently, but our gratitude is still on there. So Grateful Acornz is something I'm really, really proud of. This runs just for November. So once you purchase in November, you will automatically get that class for free. After November, November 30th, the special goes away. So buy one, get one free. That's on My Teachable School, and I'll have all the links below. Okay, I'm also super excited to be participating this year in Gratitanglez. This is run by Lisa Anderson. It is a Facebook group online, and every day she posts one tangle pattern from beginning of November to the 30th. It's a great way to get a taste of new tangles. It's a great way to create every day. It's a great way to be grounded. Everybody who offers a tangle for that also offers a gratitude, a quote, whatever inspires them. And I'm thrilled to be part of it this year. I submitted one of my tangles, which I don't have many. This is one of my tangles. This is inspired by drawings from Zentangle headquarters. It's kind of a tangulations of drawings, but I did name it. A couple people encouraged me to go ahead and name it. So this is part of Gratitanglez. And all you have to do to join this, it's free. I'm going to put the links below and in the description. All you have to do is go to Facebook, find the Gratitanglez group, and ask to join. But when you join, please answer the questions. She will not let anybody in if you don't answer the questions, because we don't know if it's a bot of some sort. So we're trying to make this as clean as possible. She's trying to make it as clean as possible that we get real people involved who want to participate, but it's free. Okay, so Gratitanglez, I'll put the links below. Thank you to Lisa Anderson for running that for us. And the artwork that people are showing is just incredible in there. So 2 things: buy one get one free on my Teachable site, Gratitanglez on Facebook, run by Lisa Anderson. And why not get something else in here? So I pulled a class from a couple years ago. Grab a tile, grab your pens, enjoy some tangling, and I hope to hear from you soon. I'll pop in and out when I can, and next year we will have more free class weeks. I'm putting them in the schedule, getting those prepared, and watch for more stuff coming out. Have a great day. Be safe. Bye. Welcome. We are going to play with the Tangle of the Month tonight, which is My Swing by Simone Menzel. It's one that I've played with before. Probably a year ago, I got into a cycle like I do with some tangle patterns and played a lot with it and then put it aside. And as I was trying to pick the tangle for this month, I went back to it and played with it again. So I'm going to do it a little bit different than she does, but when we practice the step out, I'll show you her standard way of doing it. I'm going to do a phi tile. It'll adapt to anything. So I apologize if I repeated that. And basic Zentangle supplies. If you want to add color, if you want to do a different pen, this is your tile. Have at it. But before we start, let's go ahead and have a good moment of gratitude and start our tangling nice and centered and nice and calm. So just sit nice and tall. We're going to do just 3 nice inhales and exhales at your own pace. You can do more than that if you want. My first inhale and exhale just brings me into the moment and just calms my nerves a little bit. My second inhale and exhale, I just invite all of my senses into the moment, connect with my body from head to toe. And then my third inhale and exhale, I just do a nice deep inhale as far as I can go. Hold it there for just a bit, and then a nice exhale. You can roll your shoulders a little bit. Wiggle your fingers a little bit just to get the blood flow going to your fingers. The affirmation tonight: I see endless opportunities before me. I see endless opportunities before me. And have your own moment of gratitude. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. And let me get my face out of there for a minute. I'm gonna show you both tiles. I'm gonna refocus before you take your picture. Okay, so I'll keep my fingers out of there if you want to take a screenshot. And like I said, you can adapt this to a Zendala also very easily. Making sure all the phones are down. Okay, so this is my swing, but we are going to do quite a bit of practice on this before we go to our tile, because there's a bunch of nuances about this tangle that is going to help us just get used to it. Okay, so this is called My Swing. And it is by Simone Menzel. Just trying to brighten this up a little bit for us. Okay. So what you're going to do is this starts, I want you to do, give yourself some room, a nice wavy line. And I'm going to do another one on a sheet of paper because I want to just demonstrate a couple things for you. Okay. So part of this, what makes my swing unique in itself are these fans and the way these fans come together. But I want to show you some nuances about this, how to create these fans. One way we do these fans when we typically tangle, and you can just watch, you don't have to do this. I just want you to see the difference. One way we do fans is we start on the line, we go up and we come down. We do fans or auras sometimes like that, where we go up and down. Sometimes when we do fans, we do takeoffs smoothly and land smoothly. Okay, so that's just another way we do fans. When we do my swing, it's neither of those. And what I find is that when I start to try to go too fast, I slip into not so much this one, but this one. I start to try this takeoff thing. So what we want to do is at the top of, let me draw another one of these. So when we do the fans for my swing, what you want to think is to come out here straight, do a slight curve, and then land towards the valley, not all the way down to the valley. Okay. And then what I do is I turn my tile, I come out straight, slight curve, and then down. What happens with these fans is once you start to do this, it's very easy to end up with this, or to end up with this. And they're just nuances of how to do these fans. They're not wrong. They could be variations. It's just going to give you a very different look. So you want to pay attention to a little bit of a straighter line and a slight curve right around there. And we're going to walk it down. Okay. But again, I tend to start going into here, or then I'll go too sharp, and it just kind of goes a little crazy. So back on our sample, I'm going to pick the top of that hill. You can go right or left. If you're a lefty, you might be going the other direction. I'm a righty, so I'm going to start at the top of the hill. I'm going to go out a slight curve, and I'm going to land towards the valley. It helps me to turn my tile a little bit. You don't have to if you don't need to. Start towards the top, depending on how much room you have. I'm going to come out, slight curve, and land. And I'm just going to follow that rhythm. And your fans are going to get smaller and skinnier. And at some point, I'm going to stop. At the bottom of this valley, or in this valley, ends up an orb. I'm just going to pretend there's another fan back there. So at the top of all of our hills, we're going to make these fans going in the same direction. One other way you can approach this is to put that orb in first. And I do it both ways. It just kind of depends on my mood. Start at the top. And I just kind of fill in that bottom wherever there's a gap. So your distance, how far these fans are separated, depends on the height of your line and depends on the width of your space. You just kind of let it go one stroke at a time. Sometimes I'll get 5 fans in, sometimes I get 3. And I can't do anymore. And then you turn this upside down. Now we have 2 decisions on this. You can go the same direction that you went on the other side, or you can go the opposite direction. For this one, I'm going to go the opposite direction and I'll show you what you get. And then I'll come back and I'll do another sample. You get a little bit of a different look. So right side, the first side, I went right to the right. This time I'm going to go to the left. I'll put my orb in first. I'm going to go left, straight, slight curve, and down. Okay, so I'm back right side up now. And because I went opposite directions when I turned it upside down, you get this flow, right? And now we want to, if you choose, you can stop here, or you can choose to fill in the other direction. So for example, so this is my right side up. This is how I started first round. I went to the right at the top of these hills the first time around. I can come to the left now and draw behind. And just kind of fake it if you want that layered look. And fill in. I usually go one direction, but that's her original plan, is to come back around. I want to show you what you get though If you go to the right, I'm going to do this quick so we can get to our tile. So I went to the right and I'm going to go to the right here. Ooh, that was not great. And when I turn my tile upside down, if I go to the same direction as I did the first round, so I went to the right the first time, I turned it upside down, I'm going to the right again. You don't get the linear that you get here. You get these little pods with this string in between. Okay, so this is opposite directions. And this is same direction. And then you can still come back in and fill in and draw behind just like you would up here. But you can do this with just an S curve. You don't need that big whole wave. You can just do an S curve and do them on both sides and make it independent. It doesn't always have to be a border. So there's a ton of playtime in this tangle. How many fans you get, which direction you go, how wide or skinny your wave is. You can play quite a bit. Okay, does this make sense? Is that helpful to everybody? Okay, I see shaking heads, so that's good. Okay, so what I want to show for our tile, I didn't want to do something that's just linear. I wanted to show you that you can take something that looks linear on the step out, but you can make it and adapt it into whatever you want. So I'm just going to show you how we're going to do this. I'm going to put an orb in the center of our tile. We're going to do a slight S curve, kind of like when we start drawings or some of those other tangles. And we're going to treat that outside edge like the top of our wave right here. And we're going to draw our petals that way. And we're just going to let them meander all the way down towards that orb. Same pen stroke, straight line, slight curve. And we're going to have them wrap right around that orb. And if you want to do more than 4, so both of these have 4 stems. If you want to do more than 4, this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you can do as many stems as you want, depending on the tile that you're using. It's just going to be the same pen stroke. Okay, let's play. So here's my thigh tile. I'm going to go directly to pen. And I want to put an orb right in the center. You could make it off center if you want. I liked it in the center just to give me the most distance for those S curves. I'm going to switch to a little bit of a thinner pen just because I'm a tiny tangler. Okay, so for the first two, for those, is anybody doing a phi tile? Do I have, okay, I see hands up. Okay, so for the phi tile people, I approached it this way. I did the top S curve and this S curve and had the fans go all the way around as far as I could go. And then I put in the side ones behind. Okay, that's just the way I approached it. This one, for those who are doing square or Zendala, I was able to put all four things in at the same time, and I just had them, I didn't have them really wrap around. Okay, doesn't matter. Your S curve can go either direction. My righties and my lefties may be going a different direction. I'm going to do that S curve, turn upside down. I'm going to do this S curve in the same manner. I want you to notice we're going to put a tangle pattern in this first fan. So you can be generous with your space in there. It doesn't matter how many fans you get per S curve. And I don't care if I get the same on the top versus the bottom. I just let my pen flow naturally and do whatever it needs to do. And then I'm going to fill in the short stubby part for the phi tile people. You don't see very much of it. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is aura the inside of my fans on the two sides. I'm going to aura here and here. I'm not auraing the stem because I'm not looking to make a big box in here. I'm auraing here and here. I'm going to switch to my PN for the next step. And what I want to do is aura the stem so that I can color it in with that little bit of a highlight. And then I'm also going to continue it around into the finished fescue. So you can do it in either combo. I'll probably finish my fescue. And then aura. You can aura on the inside or the outside. It doesn't matter. I just love how that little bit of drama grounds the whole thing. It's one that it's hard to stop tangling because I keep getting, oh, what if I do this? And then I have to try it. I'm glad you like it. It took me a while to really figure out why mine wouldn't look like hers. Once I got those petal shapes like slowed down on them, that was the game changer for me. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna come into the biggest fan shape. And I chose to put umbel in here. This is a Zentangle headquarters pattern called umbel. Well, we can step through it. I want to show you on my other one. I ended up putting garlic cloves. You guys know that's one of my favorites. But you can put any type of dense tangle in here. You can do printemps, you can do halva, you can do anything. You can fill it with orbs if you love orbs. I kind of liked umbel because I felt like I needed more black contrast in here. I knew we weren't going to tangle inside all of the fan shapes for time. You are certainly welcome to do that after class, but we wouldn't have time in here to do it. And I liked the little sparkle that I can get in here. Okay, so I'm going to go in really close. And this is, for those who haven't done it yet, this is called umbel. And it's a headquarters tangle. And it's, you can kind of think of it like a halva. But what I want you to notice is the very first pair of lines you do, you want to leave space, not put them right up against the side so that you can see things going behind them. So the first couple layers, I like to be spaced out so that then I can get the back layers. The first layer is just going to be a curved line, a little C curve with an aura, a skinny aura. You're going to fill that in, leaving the highlight. So I'm flicking my pen from one end and I'm flicking my pen from the other. And maybe I'll color in the edge and then flick my pen. And very important, before you do your next set, you need to aura. Oops, and that was really skinny. You need to have this white aura. If you forget that aura, the pair of lines fight with each other. They don't have that gap. I'm going to refocus this. I don't know if that's super clear for you. And then you turn your tile and you're going to take another C curve, just going in an opposite direction, just like halva. I will position my highlight so it starts and ends just behind the line above it. Even if it might not be in the middle, I'll just make that artistic decision. And then aura. And that's the rhythm of umbel. We are in a really small space. When you do this tangle on a larger space, you can be a little bit more rhythmic with where you're placing your C strokes. We're in just too tiny of a space. So I'm going to look for another place. Yours might be different. You might get 3, you might get 5, you might get 4, doesn't matter. And I would probably stop there. Now, if that's too tiny tangling for you, put a different tangle pattern in the others. They don't all have to match. Everybody take a good deep breath and loosen up your fingers. Very easy to death grip your pen in this little tiny spot. And like I said, you are welcome to fill in all the fans if you want. That's up to you. Okay, so for me, I wanted something to fill in here. And of course, most of you know I can't, I've never met a fescue I didn't like. So I came in to just this one and this one. And I just pull a couple delicate fescues. And you can have them go all the way out if you want. And the last thing before shading is I just come around to the edge with a Skippy pen. And I just do a double border. And after we shade, I have some variations of this to show you to help aid in your tangling tonight. And I'm just going to grab my regular Zentangle pencil. I have it on a pencil extender because it's really short, and a regular tortillon. The first thing I shade is this intersection where umble is. So I'm going to put soft circle graphite right up against that line. Almost make it like an inset. Soft circle right up against that black line. And then with my tortillon, blend it out, leaving a little bit of highlight right in the center. You don't want to blacken that whole thing out. I'm going to leave a little bit of that highlight. And then the next place I do shading is the overlap of the fans. So I'll take my pencil point right along here, and then I'll spread that out with my tortillon. My tortillon's pretty dirty. And I'll pull this out a little bit, but I want to leave the side part of that fan still white and bright. Clean my tortillon a little bit. So the thinner your fan is, the less you can drag that graphite. The more controlled you're going to need to be. For anybody who likes to play with fragments, these fan shapes are triangle fragments. So any type of things that you do with reticular fragments, this is a great place to explore and just see what you can get. So for me, I'm going to go to a little bit of a thicker pen. I've been tangling with an 02. So for me, PN is a little bit thicker than what I had before. And this is a good time to hold out your tile and just kind of appreciate where you are and absorb it and look at contrast. And, just enjoy what you're tangling. What I see on mine is that my aura line and my petal outer line, I like them to have a little bit more contrast. So all I'm going to do with a little bit of a thicker pen is just come into the outer line and give it a little bit more weight. That's a personal preference. You may not want that. You may be perfectly fine with how yours looks. And I'm not doing any rounding or anything. I'm truly making that whole line thicker so that it looks different from the inside aura. So this one I did, let me put it this way. This one I did, and this one I didn't. It's subtle, but for me, it just helps my eye identify those layers. Okay, so for that center gem, that center circle, you can do anything you want. I like to do my Mary Rose simple, I'm too lazy to do anything else gem, which I'll demo. Most of you have seen it before. And I can demo some other things too if you want something different. But my easy gem is I come in with my pencil and I'm going to do C strokes right up in that circle. And I'm just doing C strokes like this with firm pressure. And then I'm doing medium pressure. And then I'm doing light pressure. And then I'm stopping. So I'm leaving that little sliver of white down in that lower corner. You can take your tortillon and blend that graphite. Make sure you don't go into your white. Or you can take a white chalk pencil, start in the white with circles, and then just blend into the graphite a little bit. And then a white jelly roll to just give you your sparkle. Another thing you can do in there, if you don't want to do a gem or anything, you can aura the inside. And you can do the Tangle Boucle, which is by Cheryl Moot. Pretty sure it's by Cheryl. I'm doing that by memory. I hope that's right. And oh, I see some. Thanks, Jen. So I got the thumbs up. And boucle is, can I go in a little closer on this just so you can see it? You start at about 12 o'clock. You do a C curve into the center. And then you back out and do a C curve and touch the bottom. So I'll do that again. If this is your orb, it starts at the top and it's a C curve that comes in. and then it's a C curve that touches at the bottom. And what you can do with that is then color in one side, and you get that cool orb. If you do that, you need to aura the inside though, because if you color in that one side, it's going to blend in with all of your other lines and you're going to lose half of it. So you want to aura. The only thing I did after that was a very light shade right around the edge of my tile. Again, kind of an option. I come in with my pencil pretty horizontal and just scribble graph right from the side of my pencil. If you're working on a gray tile or a Renaissance tile, you can certainly come in with white chalk and highlight some of the umbel. You can highlight that little area where we did the main stem. I'm on a white tile, so I didn't bother doing any of that. It's a good time for a deep breath. Check your death grip, make sure your fingers are loose. So just some notes. I taught this tangle maybe a year ago, maybe 2020. I don't remember exactly the date, but I have all my notes when I was playing with it back then. So I just figured I'd show them to you guys and let them launch whatever they can for you as well. So this is a regular, straightforward square tile with a zigzag all the way in the circle, and then just straight my swing. But because I went that not the zigzag, but that curve, that original curve in a circle, it made it really skinny. So my fans had a very skinny channel to go to. And I thought they looked really cool in there when you do that. So that's just basic my swing. Here it is opposite in a channel. So I put the orbs on each side, and then I just did the fans. So you don't always have to put it in a curve. You can put it in a straight line as well. You can whoops, sorry. You can do it offset in linear and then play with that as a border. It can be a border this way too, which I think is really pretty. This is what we were playing with today. So this is what reminded me about fragments. Look at fragments and just treat each one of these fan shapes as a fragment, a triangle fragment. But here's what they look like if you just aura with some line weight at the top. And this is sketchbook brainstorming. This isn't finished, shaded, anything. This is just playtime in there. But I also loved that. You know, just find an orb. And what makes it different are these petal shapes. Instead of just doing petals like we normally do, you can make these my swing panels instead of just a regular one. And I showed you guys this one already. So this was in my journal where you can just make it, you know, curve out. I really want to play with that on a Zendala in different ways. So super fun.